Welcome back, attractive and well-educated watchers, to responding to Hans Wormhat's Why Satan Fakes Animals. Last time we left off, we pretty much figured out and determined rather conclusively that Hans Wormhat as an individual doesn't believe in anything that he can't see running around the street outside of the window in his mother's basement. That being said, the people, because they are sadists, and they expect us to be their resident masochist, decided that we should keep going with this series, and the people have spoken, and we are nothing if not a total champion for our patrons. If our patrons vote for something, we must do it. It's the next thing we gotta do, So yeah. Without further ado, let's continue watching Why Satan Fakes Animals.
The fake animals are the special ones that you need to see on the TV or at the zoo.
No, we got this one. No, they aren't. Boom. Case closed. We can leave now, right? That's it, right? Video finished? Roll credit song.
And we're going to get into one that you see at the zoo in particular in a second. But anyways, you get the feel for what the big animals are, the big fake animals. And they're the media favorites, too. The media loves the fake animals more than anything.
Once again, this guy could literally just go to a zoo. Like he talks about how all the fake animals are at the zoos, but we've known zookeepers. If you're like, I don't believe these animals are real, can I touch one? There's like a 50-50% chance that you'll be able to set something up. We're telling you, man. And of course, we're also getting to this whole, the media. The media. What part of the media? Because, the media is this really big organization all over the world. There's a lot of media everywhere, and basically none of it agrees. At all. Just saying.
That's why the WWF isn't just like a squirrel or a dog or something. It's a panda.
Or alternatively, Hans, and this is just a thought, this is just an idea, alternatively, it's because dogs and squirrels aren't exactly what the average city person would define as wildlife. In fact, dogs aren't wildlife at all, you fucking dude.
And that's why Australia is all about the koala. I mean, they're all about the kangaroo too, but kangaroos are real, so you really see the koala pushed a lot more than you see the kangaroo pushed.
What? Wait a second. Hold on here, Hans. You believe that koalas, little fuzzy arboreal pouched bears that eat eucalyptus leaves are not real. But you accept the existence of 6-foot-tall bodybuilding marsupial death machines that lope around the Australian outback at the speed of a fucking jeep and harass and kill people's dogs and stuff. We had to listen to this back a second time. We were going to make a joke about how Australia was the home of not koalas and kangaroos, but everything that kills you, but this actually threw us completely off. We were gonna go on a big tangent, but then you were like, I believe in kangaroos, but not koalas. This flabbergasts us. We actually don't know what to think about that. We have to sit down for this.
And if you can think back to the wildfires, they were constantly having stories about koalas in the wildfire, but I think I saw one story about kangaroos in the wildfires, and kangaroos are actually real.
So, some basic Google searching and about 5 seconds of thought reveals that koalas aren't actually very fast on the ground, and since they live their lives in eucalyptus trees, which catch on fire super hard, super fast, they have to climb down from the tree while the fires are going up the tree. So koalas aren't really suited to escape wildfires. Meanwhile, the kangaroo is the fastest animal in all of the continent of Australia. So maybe the reason that the koalas had to get saved and the kangaroos didn't, even though many kangaroos were injured from smoke inhalation and stuff like that, at the time, the fires he's talking about when he made this video, even though that happened, the koalas were considerably more in need. Also, like, koalas are, like, they've got a whole bunch of other problems that don't need to be on fire. Furthermore, that particular fire that he's talking about way back when the Australian wildfires were going, one of the big crowning climaxes to those wildfires was when the rains returned. There were these videos of kangaroos seemingly praying to the sky, like thanking the rains, because everything around them was on fire, and it sucked, and it started raining, and they were all burning and everything, and it felt good for them. So, like, that was a big thing that was all over the news and everything. So, like, he believes in these kangaroos, but he won't believe that there is some arboreal marsupial bear in Australia. He thinks they're all animatronics.
And they just make all these stories about their stuffed animals. People would go out into the woods, wherever they keep these plushies up in the trees, and they would save the plushies, and then they love to make their viral video with all the plushies in their car. Oh, look at these things that I saved. And yeah, there was some bad footage out of that. Anyways,
No, Hans, please, don't stop there. Keep going on with your total and complete nonsensical bullshit. Everybody wants to hear it. We assume that because you're going to make this completely outstanding and ridiculous claim, you have some kind of evidence to support it, or are you literally just talking, out of your ass or the side of your neck or some other place where nobody has any business making any noise worth listening to? Just a question here from scholar to scholar, if it will. What's your source for that? Or is it one of those, like, Metal Gear Solid things where your source is that you made it the fuck up?
I'm going to spend probably the bulk of this video just talking about this one fake animal in particular.
We know for a fact, as a farmer, that particular animal on screen is not fake. We are familiar with its look, with its tracks, with its care. We are intimately familiar with the sounds that it makes. In our many years of farming, we have heard many such animals, and right now we are listening to possibly one of the loudest examples of its kind.
It's not a fake animal in that it's not alive. It's that they take an animal that is alive, say a donkey or a horse, and they camouflage it, they paint it, and they tell you that it's a new animal. And it's one that you can clearly see the brainwashing when you're able to step back and look from afar and see how many times were you told Z is for what?
Ass. Z is for ass, according to Hans Wormhat. The ass that you paint and camouflage, that is what Z is for. Just look on the screen, guys. He's got it. It's all there.
Z is for zebra. Gets told to you about 1 million times when you're growing up. That's the only reason that you believe in zebras.
So apparently we can include reading comprehension as something that Hans Wormhat lacks as well. Because he's not showing the word zebra, he's showing the word ass, which is approximately the kind of thing that he's making himself into here with this entire video.
Is because Z is for zebra has just hypnotized you into living in a place where you can't even question it.
You are getting very sleepy. Very sleepy. Your eyelids are getting heavier. You are fading away into a drowsy state of dreams. And in that dream, you believe in zebras. Oh. And when you awaken, you will believe in zebras. Even if somebody in his mother's basement tells you they aren't real.
What do you mean zebras are painted that way? Well, that's the secret.
Yes, Hans Wormhat. He is the one who knows the secret. The ubiquitous secret. The one we're all trying to know. The one that has been being hidden from us forever. That zebras are a hoax. Just a painted ass. But here's our question for Hans Wormhat. Since he knows the secret, are they painted white? Or are they painted black?
So, this is from the Wikipedia article on animals in the Bible. And if you go and you read where it talks about the ass, and it talks about how it's such a huge...
Well, we guess now we also know that Hans Wormhat really likes big butts. And in this case, we know he lies a lot, but we're inclined to believe him. He's got the page up and everything. He likes huge asses, okay? Like, it's a huge thing, that ass.
It's a very important animal in the Bible.
Yes, Hans, we would hope that the world's first domesticated beast of burden would be important and a very well-featured and notable animal in any given religious text, in a society wherein animals and pastoralism was important. Yes, that is a thing, Hans Wormhat. That should not surprise literally anybody. Just go to a fucking history class, man.
And then, when you just keep reading, get down to this part. The custom was introduced very early, as it seems, and still prevails, to paint the most shapely and valuable donkeys in stripes of different colors. And I don't know about you, but I've never seen a donkey painted up with green and white stripes. I've never seen a horse painted up with blue and white stripes, or any color combination. Why don't I see green and red striped horses around Christmas time?
That's because you don't go out fucking side. Holy shit. We covered this in the last video, Hans. The reason that you think that all of these things are fake is because you don't leave your mother's basement. Here, look at this. It's a painted donkey because the fourth day of the Diwali festival centers around animal worship, and they paint donkeys on that day. This isn't even 1,000 miles from where the events of the Bible were taking place. They had contact with India at that time, and Diwali is one of the longest celebrated festivals, like, contiguously in history. So it was around back then too. You refuse to understand how the world works and lock yourself up in a fucking house all day, and that is why you refuse to believe that in some other country that you probably don't even acknowledge exists, people paint donkeys during festivals.
And it's because they don't want to tell you in on the secret, but they're telling you plainly here that it still prevails. Do you just see how clearly whoever wrote this knew about the secret about zebras? The custom was introduced very early, as it seems, and still prevails to paint the most shapely and valuable donkeys in stripes of different colors. Today, their favorite colors to paint them are black and white, and they tell you it's a zebra.
And then they go and release all of the shapeliest and most valuable painted donkeys out into the wild in Africa, flying them from all the way across the world to release them back into the nature. Be free, painted, shapely, most valuable asses. Oh my god, and Zebra Release Day, oh, it's so fun. We wait for it every single year. Don't you know, the entire world, every single nation, including those that are at war, Every single year, they paint up their shapeliest and most valuable donkeys, and then they fly them out, still painted, off to Africa, and release them by the hundreds of thousands into nature. And that's why we have safaris.
Zebras have so much programming out there kind of hinting at the truth. There's 1,000,001 comics of the stripes falling off of a zebra or somebody painting stripes on a zebra. There's 1,000,001 instances of things like this where they will tell you that you disguise a horse as a zebra.
Ah, yes. Germany, known for their great abundance of zebras to be tamed and domesticated as cavalry mounts. Yes, that is definitely not a clear and obvious a meme, as you say, that is specifically made as a joke that you are too gullible to understand is a joke. Definitely not.
The joke is...
You are the joke. You. That's who the joke is. You are the joke, Hans Wormhat. You have stated that you don't believe in koalas, but you do believed in bodybuilding marsupial 6-foot-tall kickboxing death machines that lope around the fucking Australian outback. You've stated in so many words in both videos now that you don't believe in any animal that you can't see outside of the window of your mother's basement. You've made the claim that fucking all zebras are painted donkeys, and that it's a long tradition for thousands of years to paint donkeys as zebras, presumably to release them millions a year into Africa when there are only about 1 million zebras in the world, as far as we could tell. You have made it very clear that you are insultingly ignorant about the presence of other cultures and traditions and ideals and bioregions in the rest of the world. We've actually looked ahead into your comments section and seen people from South Africa. You've got a couple of actual, wildlife veterinary specialists in the comments section of this video from South Africa who specialize in zebra care, saying, hey, not only are you not true, but the zebra is a symbol of my nation. It's long existed as a cultural and traditional, signifier for my people and many people around the world. It is frankly insulting and offensive how arrogant you are about blasting your ignorance to everybody. I can tell you, I can take a video right now and show me handling a zebra who is an asshole and therefore not a donkey, because donkeys are generally pretty chill. And your response to literally any refutation in your comments section of this video is, you are a liar. That's it. Just, nuh-uh. I don't believe you. You're a liar. You're part of the them. I absolutely refuse to leave the basement. It will never happen. Fuck you. That makes you the joke, Hans. You're a joke.